Before we dive in, make sure to hit that subscribe button and stick around till the end. What happens to this river will shock you. This is gonna blow your mind, how a bone-dry Texas river can turn deadly in just 20 minutes. The Texas landscape lay still under the relentless summer sun, the air shimmering with heat and silence. Every blade of grass and every stone seemed to pause, as if holding its breath in anticipation. A dry riverbed stretched wide and empty, its banks exposed to the harsh light, the absence of water a stark reminder of the drought gripping the land. The Llano River was nothing but a memory now, its channel filled with sun-bleached stones and cracked earth, the ground fractured and thirsty, longing for relief. Hardy trees and shrubs clung stubbornly to the banks, their roots digging deep in search of moisture, their leaves unmoving in the windless heavy air. A small paved road crossed the riverbed, a lonely gray line over the dust, connecting distant towns that waited for rain. The only sounds were the persistent buzzing of insects and the occasional distant bird call, both echoing in the stillness, as if nature itself was whispering secrets. The sky above was a vast, endless blue, cloudless and bright, giving no hint of the change that was building far away. This place seemed defined by its dryness, a landscape that had forgotten water, where every crack in the earth told a story of waiting and endurance. But miles away, dark clouds were gathering, unleashing torrents of rain on the hills that fed this river, the distant thunder a promise and a warning. The dry ground, hardened by months of sun, would soon face a force it could not absorb, unprepared for the sudden return of water. A surge of water was already on its way, hidden from sight but inevitable, destined to transform this silent, parched landscape in a matter of hours. The change began almost imperceptibly. A small, dark trickle appeared at the far end of the riverbed. At first it seemed harmless, just a faint line of water snaking through the dust, barely enough to stir the dry earth. But for those who watched closely, it was a warning, a subtle signal that something much larger was on its way. CCTV footage captured the moment. A muddy stream snaked through the rocks, growing rapidly. The water, thick with silt, crept forward with a sense of urgency, as if the river itself was waking from a long slumber. In just a few minutes, the trickle became a collection of rivulets, spreading across the dry channel. Each new stream joined the others, weaving a network of brown water over the parched ground, transforming the landscape before anyone's eyes. The water was brown, filled with debris and moved with surprising speed. Branches, leaves, and even small stones were swept along, carried by the relentless current. The once silent landscape woke up, the hiss of water swelling into a steady roar. The air was filled with the sound of rushing water, a noise that grew louder with every passing second. The flow surged in pulses, overwhelming the thirsty earth and rising fast. The ground, cracked and dry moments before, was quickly swallowed by the advancing flood. Bushes at the river's edge were quickly submerged. Green leaves disappeared beneath the muddy surface as the water claimed everything in its path. The paved road became the first obstacle, briefly holding back the water. For a moment it seemed the road might withstand the flood, a thin line of defense against the rising tide. But the pressure mounted, and soon water spilled over, erasing the road beneath a deepening current. The boundary between land and river vanished, replaced by a swirling, unstoppable flow. The transformation was dramatic, a safe crossing point vanishing in moments. What was once familiar and secure was now lost beneath the flood. The river was reclaiming its path, unstoppable and wild, reminding everyone of the power that had always lain dormant beneath the surface. In a matter of minutes, the once parched riverbed was utterly transformed, as if awakened from a long slumber. Water surged in, turning the dusty ground into a raging torrent, the force of nature unleashed with breathtaking speed. The road, a familiar path just moments before, vanished beneath churning brown water, swallowed up and now part of the river's floor. The relentless current erased all traces of human presence. Rapids formed in an instant, with waves crashing violently against the banks and any obstacles in their path, reshaping the river's course with every surge. The water rose alarmingly fast, swallowing trees and bushes that once stood tall on high ground. Even the highest points offered no refuge from the relentless flood. Debris, branches, logs, and even large rocks tumbled and spun in the powerful current, carried away as if weightless by the unstoppable force of the flood. The river expanded far beyond its usual banks, spreading across the land and reshaping the landscape with raw, unrestrained power. Fields and forests disappeared beneath the muddy water. The roar was deafening, echoing for miles, and the water was thick with mud and sediment, churning with a relentless energy that seemed unstoppable. In just 20 minutes, the familiar landscape was unrecognizable, transformed into a wild, chaotic scene that bore little resemblance to what had stood before. The peaceful place was gone, replaced by a scene of natural fury and chaos, a stark contrast to the serenity that had existed only moments earlier. The flash flood was a stark reminder of how quickly danger can arrive, and how nature's power can change everything in the blink of an eye. As the flood receded, devastation remained. The road re-emerged buried in mud and debris impassable. Riverbanks were scarred, trees uprooted or leaning, the ground saturated and stained. Pools of muddy water lingered, the air thick with the smell of earth. The event was a sobering lesson. Flash floods strike with little warning, even under clear skies. Rainfall miles away can unleash disaster here in minutes. The Llano River's transformation was a visual testament to nature's power. Landscapes we think of as permanent can be reshaped in moments. The quiet riverbed and raging torrent are two faces of the same place, changing faster than we can imagine. If you found this video insightful, don't forget to subscribe, like, and share to help others stay aware of nature's power.